Hi, welcome to Open Data Day at the City of Portland. I'm Gennie Nguyen, and I'm the Social Equity Performance Manager in Procurement Services. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the city's procurement data and why that data is important to be open to the public. The procurement process at the City of Portland, like all government agencies, start with taxes. How does the city pay for the goods and services that it provides? We use the money collected from taxes. So what are taxes? Taxes are mandatory payments individuals, households, and businesses make to local, state, and federal government. Wait, so why are we talking about taxes? I thought this is about procurement. How do taxes relate to city procurement? Well, government agencies like the City of Portland use those taxes to pay for goods and services that it provides. Rules govern how the city spends those tax dollars in the procurement process. Those procurement rules come from federal, state, and local policies and practices. Open procurement data is important because it provides transparency on where the city spends public money. When we talk specifically about city procurement policies, we are mostly talking about Portland City Code 5.33, 5.34, and 5.68. Respectively, these city codes govern how the city can spend on goods and services, construction, and professional services. Essentially, it authorizes the city to spend those tax dollars for the things that the city needs to operate. So many equate procurement with buying or purchasing items, but procurement is more than just buying stuff. Procurement is the act of acquiring goods, services, or works from an internal source in compliance with all relevant rules and regulations. These are the major phases in the public procurement process. It begins with determining need and defining that need. We then move to solicitation of bids and proposals, the evaluation of those bids and proposals. After the evaluation is completed, we move to the negotiation of the contract, and finally with the purchase of goods and services or public works project. And so there are many steps to the procurement process other than just buying stuff. Not all purchases at the city go through all of these phases. Depending on what city staff procures, construction goods, professional services, or common services, there are different dollar thresholds that determine if a competitive process is required or not. If a competitive process is not required, city staff determines needs. The city staff determines the need and may make the purchase using a city procurement card or department purchase order. But if a competitive process is required, city staff will develop specifications on what they need and put it out on the market. So then suppliers or contractors who can meet what the city needs will then communicate to the city, hey, I have what you need, and I can provide this good or service. Essentially, they put in their bid for a city contract. When a project goes out to bid, that means that the city is actively soliciting for contractors or suppliers who are qualified to meet the specifications or want to work with the city, want to do work or provide the city with goods and services. So one of the ways that data gets collected and used in the city procurement process is through project forecasting. Beginning last October, the Bureau of Environmental Services, Parks, Portland Bureau of Transportation, and the Portland Water Bureau restarted the practice of publishing project forecast reports for their construction projects. Each quarter, employees in those bureaus try to estimate their upcoming construction projects. They share it with central procurement in a report, and procurement publishes it. Because this is a forecast report, information on the report is subject to change. The reports include things like project name, project description, project manager, the anticipated solicitation date, construction estimate, federal funds, whether that project is applicable in some of the city's procurement programs, like the community benefits agreement, and what type of solicitation it is, whether it is a low bid project or an alternative construction project. It also covers the type of work that's available, whether a company does asphalt paving, masonry, water line construction. All these things are relevant to whether a contractor will bid on the project or not. So by publishing procurement forecast reports, we're providing suppliers such as construction contractors, workers, and those who provide goods and services for those projects a heads up on upcoming opportunities. In addition to the quarterly reports, procurement services and bureau staff are coordinating monthly meetings so that project managers in the bureaus have an opportunity to present their upcoming projects to the community. This is an opportunity for contractors to learn more about these projects and hopefully prepare to align their resources to bid on the project, or they share it with others who have the capacity to do the work if they don't. These meetings are also great opportunities for project managers at the city to receive feedback from contractors on their projects before it goes to bid. That feedback can include how to make the project more equitable to Black, Indigenous, people of color, contractors, and workers, which is important to meet the city's aspirational goals to contract with and hire more construction workers, women, and Black, Indigenous, people of color. It's also important as the city strives to be an anti-racist organization. Right now, our procurement forecast reports are only for construction projects, but we hope to expand that for goods and services and professional services in the future. The forecast reports are one example of how we use procurement data and share it with the public to elevate transparency in the city's procurement process. So how is procurement data made available to the public? So I'll end the presentation with this list. On the solicitation side, there are two ways that the city shares this data with the public. One is on the procurement's website. The second way is through the city's vendor portal, BuySpeed. And so I'll walk through some of these links before we end here. There's also procurement data made available on upcoming, current, and completed projects. And so on the construction side, we have the city construction lists that the website team manages. We have the procurement project forecast reports that I just talked about. And we also have a dashboard that collects open and closed projects for professional services and construction projects. And so that's the contract award payment and construction workforce summary dashboard. And lastly, one of the other ways that we share this information out to the public, share the procurement data out to the public, is through presentations at the Fair Contracting Forum, as well as other meetings. And so just to walk through some of these links. The first way that we share the solicitation information is through the procurement website. And so this is what it looks like. So this is the bids and proposals section of our procurement website. And so through this, these are all upcoming and current open proposals. And so one of the things we can do is go on this website and click on one of these projects. What this will give you is the contact information of the buyer in charge of this project. And so for this project, this design project, Interstate Firehouse Cultural Center feasibility study, this is led by Rick Nossman. And so it also gives other information here about the project itself. If you click on the link in the website, it takes you straight to our BuySpeed portal, vendor portal. And so once you click in here, it gives you a lot more information about the project itself. Let's go back to the screen. And so the BuySpeed vendor portal is another way that you can look at this. And so this is just another way to get to it. Our BuySpeed vendor portal, and on this page, what you see is all the open bids that the city has at the moment. And so if you want to learn more about how to get to this page or more information about this page, you can contact me. And then for more data about upcoming and current completed projects, this is the city construction list. This isn't managed by procurement services, but it's really such a great way to share information that I thought people should know about it. And so in this construction list, you can filter by type, This is mostly by bureau. You can filter this by the status of the project, whether the project is active, upcoming, or open. You can also filter by the neighborhood and filter by the year completed. And so when you click on one of these, it gives you much more information about the project itself. On the procurement project forecast reports, this is the forecast reports that I spoke about earlier. And so this is where those reports are published. And so these links will be shared with you on the Open Data website at some place. And so when you look at this report, like I said, it gives you all the information or a lot of information about the upcoming projects that each of these bureaus publishing these reports have. And then the last link here that I'd like to share with you is a dashboard that I created to share procurement data. And so you can see that this is a robust dashboard that shares information, summary level information about who the city is awarding contracts to. The blue talks about the contracts awarded. The green references the payments made out from those contracts. And so there's a lot of information on this dashboard. You can filter by procurement type, contract type, many other filters. It also gives you information by bureaus. Again, the blue is contracts awarded. The green is payments. And when you hover over some of these as well, it gives you more information. The dashboard also breaks down information in different ways as you click through some of these tabs. And so these are the few ways that the city shares its procurement information. I want to end this presentation by saying that it takes a large group of dedicated bureau procurement and web staff to make procurement data available. So thank you to everyone who plays a role to make the city's procurement data more transparent. So if you have questions about procurement data at the City of Portland, you can contact me, Gennie Nguyen, through my email, gennie.nguyen@portlandoregon.gov, or you can call me on my city cell, 503-865-6199.